In Paris, a married couple, Vincent and Sophie, run a modest butcher shop. Sadly, business isn't booming, customers are few, and those who do come often leave frustrated as Vincent takes ages, oddly massaging the meat before serving it. Afternoon, a group of vegan activists storms into their store, vandalizing it with paint, smashing objects, and scrawling graffiti on the walls. Vincent gives chase, catching one of the intruders and wrestling him to the ground to uncover his identity. But before he can do much, the others return, knock Vincent off, kick him in the gut, and flee. Later that day, Vincent and Sophie visit their friends, Stephanie and Mark, and vent their worries. The bank has denied their request for a loan to repair the shop, and now they're teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Stephanie feigns sympathy for a moment, only to pivot into bragging about Mark's flourishing butcher business. During dinner, Mark piles on the condescension, boasting about his success, and then presents Vincent with a gun to help protect his shop. Though Vincent lacks a license and hesitates, Mark insists, even firing the weapon at a toy in the pool to prove its usefulness. Driving home, Sophie announces she wants to separate. Their marriage has lost its spark, and she craves excitement. But Vincent is distracted. He spots the same activist from earlier pedaling nearby. He reverses the car to confront him, but in the process, accidentally runs him over and kills him. Shocked, Vincent wants to call the police immediately, and there's now a gun in their trunk. The consequences could be catastrophic, drawing inspiration from a documentary she recently watched. Sophie proposes they mimic a notorious serial killer who dismembered victims and scattered their remains across the city in trash bags. Soon enough, the activist's body is on Vincent's butcher table, where he begins chopping it up with his tools, first in large chunks, then into finer pieces. During the process, an ear falls to the floor, and their dog devours it eagerly, barking for more. Amused and disturbed, Vincent tosses the second ear and watches the dog devour it. Afterward, Vincent retreats to the bedroom, only to be told by Sophie that he can't sleep there anymore. They're separated, remember? So, he crashes on the couch. By morning, Vincent oversleeps, rushes to the shop, and is horrified to see Sophie has unknowingly sold the human meat he left on the slicer, mistaking it for ham. Before he can react, the customer returns, raving about how delicious it was, and begging for more. He offers her something else, but she insists only that special ham will do. Sophie's puzzled. But Vincent quickly lies, saying it's a new product from a different supplier. She wants to try it too, and finds it absolutely amazing. He dubs it Iranian pork, and the customer buys everything she can. Once she leaves, Sophie demands to know the truth. After hearing the grisly explanation, she freaks out, but only momentarily. Then, ever pragmatic, she suggests they sell the rest to eliminate the evidence. Vincent refuses to taste it himself, but Sophie keeps pushing. Another customer walks. In a friend of the first wanting the same meat, word spreads fast. Soon a line forms for the mysterious Iranian pork, and for the first time in ages, business is booming. Even Officer Nan Mac shows up to buy some. Vincent and Sophie panic, but thankfully he doesn't realize what he's eating. That night, Vincent has a piece himself, and ends up enjoying it. Sophie then floats a radical idea. What if they killed more people and sold the meat? Assumes she's joking? She isn't. She sees a way to save their livelihood the next day. Their daughter Chloe introduces them to her boyfriend Lucas, a vegan who, while polite, holds strong opinions. Chloe has now gone vegan too. Support him. Lucas won't touch anything they offer. Not mushrooms, not wine, not cheese or cake. He even calls Sophie an old cow while lecturing about animal cruelty. Asterisk after they leave. A deeply annoyed Vincent agrees to Sophie's plan. They scout out a large cook at a vegan restaurant. Plenty of meat, little stress. Vincent follows. Him home, knife in hand. But when the man fights back, Vincent panics and bolts. Sophie knows he's lying about what happened. They need better planning, she says, and shares more ideas inspired by her crime documentaries. They head to a neighboring town, pretending to be vegan activists outside a grocery store. After an aggressive mediator insults them, a real vegan approaches to praise their courage. Talks non-stop, forcing Sophie to say something shocking just to get rid of him. A friendlier activist appears and sets up a meeting. Soon he returns with two more companions, and the couple pretends to be fellow activists. They all plan to sabotage a meat processing plant, which turns out to be Mark's business. Sophie, stunned, stays outside on lookout, while Vincent gleefully joins the sabotage team, setting fires and urinating on Mark's photo. Later, Sophie berates Vincent for betraying their friends. He argues that big businesses like Mark's hurt small shops like theirs more than vegans do. He orders a steak but finds it bland. It just doesn't compare to human meat. He refuses to kill again, prompting Sophie to mock him, calling him weak and dependent. Angered, Vincent nearly strikes her with a fork and stops himself, declares their relationship over, and storms off. Sophie, meanwhile, flirts with the restaurant waiter, bonding over their shared obsession with crime shows. She kisses him, then bites his tongue. He bleeds. She invites him inside to clean up. While he's in the bathroom, she tells Vincent this guy could be their next victim, describing the kiss in detail to provoke him. Vincent, fuming, starts sharpening his knife, but he hesitates. Relaxed animals produce better meat. So Sophie gives the waiter a massage to calm him. She urges Vincent to finish the job, threatening divorce. Vincent enters and finds the waiter naked, assuming this is all a kinky game. Enraged, Vincent kills him. Chloe walks. Moments later, Vincent hides the body, and Sophie stuffs the clothes behind the couch. Chloe's upset Lucas dumped her, thinking she secretly eats meat. She wants to stay the night, and asks for meat from the shop, but her parents insist she go patch things up with Lucas instead. Once she leaves, Vincent and Sophie clean the blood and butcher the body, rekindling their bond in the process. They throw the waiter's bike into the river, and later sleep together on the couch. The next morning, Stephanie and Mark call for support. Their shop was vandalized. Sophie feels guilty, until Stephanie mocks their shop again. Asterisk Officer Nadamik investigates, linking the attack to the same activists who hit Vincent's shop. Meanwhile, Atomic privately asks for more Iranian pork. Sophie promises more tomorrow. That evening, they kidnap the vegan cook and kill him in the bathtub. Soon they fall into a rhythm, targeting vegans, killing with growing ease, and watching their client base explode. Vincent, once hesitant, now finds joy in the hunt. They laugh and make casual conversation while killing. One night, they lure another activist to destroy a meat plant. Vincent readies his knife, but the man spots him, kicks him, and flees. Then Sophie calls his phone. The ringtone reveals his hiding place. They find him dead. A heart attack. They carve him up and serve him to Mark and Stephanie, who enjoy it until Mark finds a metal piece in the meat. Fights back. Scuffle breaks out, and Vincent bites Mark's ear in a fit of rage. Vincent begins mimicking predator tactics, stalking prey like leopards and strangling them like snakes. The couple's passion for human meat becomes foreplay. One afternoon, they barbecue in a park until a yoga enthusiast complains about the smell. They kill him. At a vegan fair, they run into Chloe and Lucas again. To avoid suspicion, they pretend to be vegan now. Lucas mentions the spike in missing vegans and blames meat industry conspiracies. After being kicked out of the event, they spot a woman Sophie says would offer a new flavor. Vincent, abandoning his no women rule, agrees. That night, his knife breaks while butchering her. He goes to the shop for another, only to find Tamak at the door. He makes up an excuse, but the dog appears with a severed hand. Vincent panics and blames PTSD. He later admits to Sophie he trashed the meat out of fear, and Tamak is getting suspicious. He wants to quit, but Sophie is obsessed with becoming legendary. They argue, then the doorbell rings. It's Lucas. He apologizes for overreacting and fears losing Chloe. Sophie invites him to stay and relax, clearly planning to kill him. Vincent kicks him out and tells Sophie the killing is over. That night, Sophie can't even bear to watch her crime documentaries anymore. Vincent sleeps on the couch with the dog. The next day, he tries to sell normal beef, but customers leave. When they hear there's no Iranian pork, Sophie mocks him. Vincent walks out. As Sophie locks up, the activists return, demanding to know about the florists. Vincent comes home to find the dog barking at their van. Inside, Sophie's tied. Up in the butcher fridge, activists plan to kill her like she killed animals. Before the man can stab her, Vincent storms in with his dog, who attacks him. Vincent throws a knife into another activist's head. The last one overpowers Vincent and stabs him. Sophie, breaking free, impales the man with a meat hook. The dog finishes him off. Sophie checks Vincent's wound, not fatal. Later, a documentary covers their story. Stephanie and Mark give interviews, spouting racist remarks about an atomic. They reveal it was the pacemaker that exposed the truth. Without it, Sophie and Vincent might never have been caught. They're both sentenced to life. When asked if they regret anything, Sophie simply says she regrets killing the man with the pacemaker.